All right, there was a dude mowing the lawn. Shout out to him because he keeps it mowed, but I think he's done. For the sake of audio is what I'm saying. I think we're good. My name is Evan Strong, and I make videos like this geared around shoelacing and tying and our clothing and the discrepancies within those, laced incorrectly, tied unevenly, tags within shoes and clothing, seams within clothing, and things left to right, forward and back, that don't allow our bodies to just have their natural rotations and function, balance, breath, operation. Just, they don't allow our bodies to just work how our bodies want to work. So, I've gone over shoelaces, and I've gone over them and gone over them and gone over them. Here's what I'm gonna do. Today's the 29th of August, 2024. So here's my lacing technique, okay? It looks just like this. This is my right foot. You can pause it if you need to lace every shoe that you ever wear just like this, okay? On the right foot. And on the left foot, it's the exact opposite because it's the other side of your body, okay? If you need to pause it, lace your shoes just like this. I've shown it a lot. Just look how it is and just do it just like that, okay? So, also, okay, this is an absolute must. The tag within the tongue of your shoe, as I've mentioned so often, it must be removed. I've explained it, but for the sake of this video, if you want an arch, which your body, there's the mower, naturally has, your body naturally works well. That's all that I do within my content, is allow our bodies to work within our clothing. If you're trying to have your natural arch that would be there, and on top of that arch there's a synthetic tag, your foot will try to reject it and your arch will collapse, and that will travel through the rest of your entire body, putting you into external rotation rather than internal activated muscles, normal functioning body, okay? So I've done so much content on shoelaces, but it's a must. You have to, if you want your body to work normal. You have to lace them this way. And tying, I don't know if I said it yet in this so far, but you take the outside laces and cross them over the top toward the inside. So you'll tie this one like this, you'll tie this one like this, okay? Toward the center line, active arches, internal rotation. Okay, this is awesome. I'm gonna love this video personally, so this is gonna be great for other people. Okay, I've talked about so often how there's people who say if you're trying to train calves, put your foot in this position, that position, blah, blah, blah. I go over it quick like that because that's just garbage. Your foot only works just as the rest of your body only works in the position that it works. Our bodies just have one function. Each joint that connects only does the thing that it does throughout the entirety of our bodies. There's no such thing as training something in this position versus this position. Our bodies just have their function and they just do it, and that's it. So with the foot, yeah, this video is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna throw a couple kicks. I am not a martial artist. I've never trained kicks, but for the sake of, this is probably going to be my favorite video to date, actually. This is awesome. So, because I'm always talking about that internal rotation of the hip that martial artists have. Again, I don't know how to kick, but just like the idea of turning the foot in. This is gonna be awesome. This video might be more just like watching me do movement for the sake of showing how the foot and ankle naturally work and just how my lacing technique allows that to happen. A couple other things to mention, I've mentioned before, but for the sake of this video, it's ideal to have completely flat soles of your shoe from the toe to the heel, or else if this comes up, it changes where the activation is of the muscles through your entire body, and it'll actually cause you to use more quad and posterior muscles, which, I mean, anterior, the front of your body more rather than the back. And I've mentioned the strength is in the back of your body. Ugh. Oh gosh, dude. This is gonna be kind of a, like, almost a fun video because this is sweet. The strength is in the back of your body. It's not in your quads. It's not in the front. It's in the rear. Hamstrings, glutes. It's in the back of your posterior chain. In your back, right? It's internal muscles. So, yeah, this video is gonna be so awesome. You can tell I'm just having fun with this already. So, with the lacing, if this seems similar to videos I've already made, that's okay. This video is just gonna be cool. So this is a natural position. I've shown it, right? From here, I can just work, okay? I'm in an activated position. Normal, neutral, natural, sock lines, seams going in line with the natural slight outward curvature of the legs, right? So what I'm showing, really the point of this, at least the intention behind starting this video, is to show, I've talked about so much how all my lacing technique does is just allow your shoe to fit like a glove would for your hand and allow all the operation to still be there, but for your foot, okay? That's why this starts underneath to put pressure where this bends, okay? Where your toes meet at the ball of your foot. And then that's why it's going over to the outside. So these inside ones are on top, allowing for that arch to come up, but giving the visual of collapsed arch versus activated. Collapsed, activated. So you can see, if you're just looking at the thickness of the actual laces, if you're looking at just the rope, which is in my shoe, that's all a lace is. See how this side of like the hatch of just the rope being hatched in a hatch is higher, right? That's all it does. That's it. That's the only reason I say to lace shoes this way. That's it. It just allows for this position to be able to happen. Look at my ankles. How often do you see this, at least in the United States of America in 2024? People's ability to just do this kind of stuff, it doesn't exist. Rarely ever. I've also mentioned within content recent, at least as of the past many months, I have done 0 exercises, 0 workout routines, 0 stretching, 0, none. So the way that my body functions, it's not that it just always has. It never used to be able to do any of this kind of stuff. It's only allowed to through what I'm sharing freely within the content that I've posted. So it's an outside of the foot, right? This is where the strength is in your feet and ankles. This is where the health is on the very outsides, right? So that's so cool, man. I just love to watch my own ankles just to see the functionality of a good functioning like foot and ankle, because you know, well, here's the thing. If you're in sports and they say don't stand on your heels, I put my feet out like that and collapse my arches because this is the way that most lacing techniques would put your feet, especially if your feet are tied unevenly, like toward the same direction, then there's no way you're gonna get on the balls of your feet. But if you're just allowing your foot to work as it naturally would, then you'll just be on the balls of your feet. I've stated before how you could almost walk everywhere on the balls of your feet. And I mean, yes, you would get a little bit more fatigued, but it's pretty similar position. I'll walk away from the camera so you can see my feet. When I'm walking normal, it's like it's on the outsides of my feet so much that you're almost on the balls of your feet. Like now I'm just on the balls of my feet. It's a very similar position, right? To just a normal stance. So, yeah. Being able to point your toes in, right? Being able to have like a crazy amount of dorsiflexion without compensation somewhere else. dorsiflexions when your toes come upward. Right? So again, when you're going to kick a ball, if you're playing soccer or football, like American soccer or American football, right? And you're gonna kick a ball, when you run up to it, in this just natural function position, my pants are barely on my body, on the very top above my hips. My shoulder seams are, this shirt's a little bit stretched, but ideally the shoulder seams are behind your shoulders. Tags are out of everything. Shirt sits near where your hips hinge, pants sit near where your hips hinge, and so my body's just allowed to be natural, as if it didn't have any clothing on, out of modesty, right? But like the way that it would function. So if you're going to kick a ball and you run up to the ball, you want to be able to get your leg internal. You want to be able to keep your arch up and in, and you want to be on the outside of your foot, right? And that my technique just allows that to happen. So like I used to do gainers, right? And when you, oh my goodness, I probably could, maybe I should. When you do a gainer, it's the same position as a kick for a soccer ball or something, right? You come in and you just swing in that internally rotated position. So I haven't eaten anything or drank anything today at all. But yeah, so anyway, your body just works, man. It just has a position that it works well in, and that's what the lacing technique's about. That's the only reason I say to do it or show to do it. And that's all it is. That's all it's about. Just allowing your body to have its natural function. Very simple, very easy, because you're not doing anything. Your body's gonna do it on its own. You just need to allow it to. So, yeah. Keep the pants up, off the hips, right? Pants off the hips, shirt where the hips hinge, shoulder seams behind the shoulders, shoes laced and tied with my technique, tied over toward the inside to the center line of your body. Your body will just be able to be open and natural and just work. You'll have rotation in your shoulders, in your hips. You'll have balance, and you'll just work. And your body will just be how your body is in its natural state before we place clothing or shoes on it to alter the way that it would just work on its own. So that's all my content's about. That's all that I show. Take the tags out of everything, stemming from the tongues of your shoes all the way up, and have your clothes fit. Shoulder seams ideally right at the shoulders, and yeah. And that's it. It's that simple. So I might have a little fun here for a second. I'm trying to feel it out, because I haven't eaten or drank, like I said, but it's also probably around 80-90 degrees Fahrenheit. But you're never too old to be young. How cool is that? So, as I mentioned, internal rotation, right? Like a martial artist. I'm not one, never trained kicks, but this motion is extremely similar to a kick. So I'm gonna go ahead and try, but as Yoda says, no try, only do. So here we go. Okay, holy cow. How easy does it get? I'm asking that for myself because that was something that for years was scary, but also for years my body was in a position that just wouldn't have allowed it to even do that anyway. So this is seriously like fruits of the labor, right? Do things proper within your clothing. I have done 0 exercises, 0 workout routine, 0 stretching in many months. Haven't done a flip like that in many months, but my body's just allowed to work. So when I try something like that, especially if it's a familiar movement, the body will just be able to do it. So let's go again, because that's fun. I don't know how many I want to do right now, but just the fact that it's that easy to just work as far as your body will to its own capability, if we let our clothes just, you know, stop at its natural pivot points, take all the tags out, lace and tie shoes the way that I show. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try to land one, because I was not planning on doing a flip, not even when I started this video, but I felt it because I just felt like it was supposed to happen. We'll land one and we'll land it. It's the 29th of August, 2024. My name's Evan Strong. I make content on shoelaces, clothing, and the discrepancies within there that we can tweak to allow our body to have its natural function and be able to do things like this without having to train or work up to it, but just being in a naturally functioning, working position of the body. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do for today as far as flips, because I haven't in many a time. So I'm gonna kind of take it a little bit ease into that a little bit, but it feels so good to just have fun, to let your body just work. All right, thank you. More content to come as it does, when it does. I really am going to be designing clothing because of what it's done to my life and how it's absolutely changed it, to learn the things within clothing that are affecting our bodies. And I want to give everybody the opportunity to at least, you know, if they could, purchase the clothing that I design out of the knowledge that I've been able to get of how our clothing actually affects our bodies. So, thank you. I'm gonna go get some food and water. Stick around, designs to come. Simple, minimal, easy. Just let your body work. Stay, you know, out of the world, be in, not of. And when we're getting caught up on designs like on clothing rather than the design of the fabric, a lot of times those things actually alter the way that the clothing sits on our bodies or pulls on our bodies. So minimal. Okay, thank you.